These recipes will start with a box of cake mix, spice cake mix to be exact. It is the time of year where I love anything spice mix, cake, pumpkin. I just love fall. So I have 5 recipes for you today where I will be using boxed cake mix. I just love these boxed cake mix hacks. They're easy, they are delicious. I will put the recipes for all of these in the description box. If you're new to my channel, my name's Molly. Thank you so much for being here. I love sharing with you my recipes, so make sure you subscribe. Let me get these 5 sweet treats using spiced cake mix all made up for you. This first spice cake mix hack is going to be a poke cake. So I have my spice cake mix. I have a can of pumpkin. This is 100% pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling. I have 3 eggs that I will add into this, and I'm going to bake this in the oven once it's all ready. I'm going to use half a cup of vegetable oil, and I also have some pumpkin pie spice seasoning. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon. I'll put the recipe for this in the description box if you want to make it. The recipe will be in there to make it easier for you. But I'm mixing all of this up, and this is going to be the cake part of this poke cake. So the poke cake is going to have caramel and a whipped cream frosting as well. This cake is absolutely delicious. It is a huge hit. So I'm spraying my baking dish. You can use any 9x13 Pyrex. I'm going to scrape all of this delicious cake mix out, and I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350. So now that it's done, I'm using the end of just a regular wooden spoon. I'm going to poke some holes. So you can use the end of a straw or anything kind of small and round. So I'm going to poke holes throughout the cake. It doesn't have to be super pretty because I'm going to cover this with frosting. So I'm going to now pour in my caramel sauce. So I have 1 cup of caramel sauce, and I put this in the microwave for about a minute to thin it out and make it a lot easier to pour into these little holes. And now I'm going to make the frosting that goes on top. I have 1 brick of cream cheese that has been sitting out, so it's about at room temperature, so it's nice and softened. And I'm going to add in 1 cup of powdered sugar into this. I'm going to start mixing it a little slower so that the powdered sugar doesn't make a mess. But I'm going to mix all of this together. Once these are combined, I'm going to add in a container of Cool Whip. So my Cool Whip is a little bit defrosted as well. So I'm going to add that into the cream cheese and the powdered sugar mixture. And I'm just going to stir this around with my spoon, or your mixer would work as well. So I'm stirring this together, and this will be the frosting for the top of the caramel spice cake poke cake. So I'm going to add on this delicious frosting, and then I'm also going to add on top, once this is spread out, some chopped up walnuts, or you can use pecans as well. Just perfect combination with this cake. Just awesome fall flavors, and anything with spice cake mix and pumpkin combination is delicious. So I'm going to sprinkle on about half a cup of chopped walnuts. You can also add an additional drizzle of caramel sauce on top if you would like. Really yummy, nice and moist. I love poke cakes because they are just really moist, tons of flavor, just absolutely delicious. And this all started with a box of cake mix. So I just love cake mix hacks. So I'm going to do a Crockpot pumpkin cake, and it has 1 can of pumpkin, 1 can of evaporated milk. I have my eggs. I'm going to mix this together before, and then I'm going to make my spice cake mixture as well. But like I said, this is going to go in the Crockpot. It is really, really yummy. I love Crockpot desserts. They are so fun, so easy, nice and warm when you serve them. So you can serve this one with a side of vanilla ice cream or some whipped cream. Is really amazing with this. So I have half a cup of melted butter to mix with my spice cake mix. And this is going to come out nice and crumbly. And this is going to go on the top of my pumpkin mixture in the crock pot. So I'm just mixing this all together as well as I can. It's nice and thick. So I'm going to spray my crock pot with my cooking spray. I'm going to add in the pumpkin mixture, and then I'm going to add on top, I'm just going to crumble it onto the top, the spice cake mix. So you can cook this on high for 2 hours or on low for 4 hours, whichever you prefer, whichever setting you'd like, whatever you have time for. And then once this is cooked, you can add on top some chopped walnuts or pecans as well to this. Just a really good complement to all these fall desserts are the chopped walnuts. Super good. So like I said, this one goes really great with some vanilla ice cream, and it is just really, really yummy. This one is a huge, huge hit, and it makes a nice big serving. All of these do to serve to a crowd, which I love to do. This recipe is for some cupcakes. So I have my spice cake mix, and then to doctor this up, I'm adding in a packet of sugar-free vanilla pudding, and that just makes it so delicious and so nice and moist. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. I have 3 eggs. I have a cup of water and half a cup of oil. And I'm going to mix all this together, and then this is going to make the cupcake part of these, and so delicious. And like I said, the secret ingredient to this is the vanilla pudding. It just really makes these so good. And I love to add pudding into all of my cupcakes and a lot of my cakes as well, just to make them really super moist and just absolutely delicious. You would never know this started from a boxed cake mix. So I have my cupcake liners, and I'm going to put in my cupcake mix. I just have it's a small little scoop, so I'm doing about 2 scoops into each of my little muffin tins. And then I'm going to cook these in the oven at 350, then they'll be ready to go. And you can frost them with either your favorite frosting, some homemade frosting, or you can get some store-bought frosting, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to frost these with some vanilla frosting, and they are just really, really good. So once I have them all frosted, I'm going to jazz them up a little bit with some kind of sprinkle edible glitter, which is so fun. I got it last year for the holidays and put it actually in some cocktails and made it really sparkly. And it is really awesome on desserts as well. So this stuff is so cool. It comes in different colors, but I love this little kind of like champagne gold. It's kind of hard to see right now in the video, but it's nice and sparkly and super festive and really, really cute. I love the glitter. So I'm going to make some cookies with my cake mix this time. I absolutely love cake mix cookies. They are super soft. I love soft cookies. So I have my cake mix, I have 1 egg, and I have 1 can of pumpkin. This is 100% pure pumpkin. Make sure that it is not the pumpkin pie filling. So pumpkin puree is actually really good for you also. So I love using it in so many different recipes because it's very, very healthy and so delicious. This time of year, I cannot get enough of pumpkin everything. So I'm adding in some little mini chocolate chips. You can use regular chocolate chips if you'd like, but these little mini ones I love. So mixing them in, and then these cookies are ready to go. It's so simple and easy to make these with just the very few ingredients. So I have my baking mat lined cookie sheet. I use my baking mat for everything. It makes cleanup so easy. So I'm going to bake these in the oven at 350 for about 11 minutes, and they're so good. So I'm going to make another batch of cookies because, like I said, I just love cake mix cookies. They're so good. So I have 2 eggs this time for this cookie recipe. And I'm going to, after I make the cookies, I'm going to roll these in some sugar, and they're just a really good spice cookie with the sugary outside. So definitely delicious. So I'm just going to mix this all together. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. These will take about 11 minutes as well. I have my baking mat lined cookie sheet again. So I have my just regular sugar, and I'm going to take a ball of the dough and I'm going to roll it into the sugar and just coat the whole cookie with the sugar, the whole cookie dough, and then place it onto my baking mat. So these are just really good topped with the sugar and just makes them delicious. So I like to roll them in kind of some balls so that they're nice and flat, and they really flatten out quite a bit on their own and just nice and smooth. So this kind of cookie is just a nice and smooth looking cookie. I absolutely love these, and they're so easy. I hope you enjoyed these 5 cake mix hacks using spice cake mix. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.